So if we act as faithful people for 10, 20 years, trying to be faithful all the time to everybody close to us, whether it be our parents or our wife or husband, our siblings, we are faithful. Actually, yeah, I had this discussion with a colleague of mine, my office, just 2-3 weeks ago. We started talking about 2-3 colleagues, but this lady in the office had this problem. Some of her friends broke up marriage that seemed to be perfect in the beginning. She said, how is that possible? How can we be sure about things if these people I know just broke up and they were perfect somehow? Can we be sure about our commitments? I mean, who can? And I kind of replied, going back to Aristotle. Aristotle, when he focused on friendship, said clearly that the best friend is the virtuous person. I mean, friendship, our human relationships are strong when we are good. So the good person will be extremely faithful and reliable because we grow in virtues and we stick to what we want to be. We wanted it so strong that we acted that way for years and years. We struggled to be that way. We became that kind of person, so we cannot change like this. So people who just break up, I mean, all of a sudden, they were not virtuous people. They didn't work strong enough on their virtues. They seemed to be virtuous, but they were not really virtuous. So we need to become strong. I mean, it's like being a great piano player or a great athlete. It's not like you never know how you would perform. I mean, unless something really bad happens, you know that you can perform properly and you will do it. You can make some small mistakes. You cannot just have the keyboard in front of you and you don't know what to do with it, right? I mean, a small mistake compared with our friendships, it's just like what happens in ordinary life all the time. Sometimes we react not that well. I mean, sometimes we need to apologize. Sometimes we are still friends. I mean, we don't change entirely. So, because we are good piano players, we perform for years and years, struggling about how to put our hands in the keyboard and move our fingers. We exercise a lot to be good athletes, and then we can make some mistakes, but not become a different person. So virtues make us stable. Aristotle wrote that the virtuous person is stable, is predictable. You know what the virtuous person is going to do. He will never betray. It's like Aragorn in the Lord of the Rings. You know what Aragorn is not like in the movie, it's like in the book, right? So, Tolkien is like allegories, metaphors, right? But, so they used to ask him if Galadriel was actually a figure or a lady. And he said, no, actually, for those of you who read the Silmarillion, you know that Galadriel actually is one of the elves who sinned at the beginning, and then she left the land where she was living with the other angels and so forth. So there is a bad story behind these elves. But he said, you know what, if there is one character who would remind me more about Our Lady, it would be Aragorn. Because Aragorn is without fault. Aragorn doesn't sin. In the movie, Aragorn is kind of, hesitant about what to do. I mean, am I going to really become the king or anything? In the book, Aragorn is perfect. Aragorn is totally predictable. He will never betray his friends or give up his mission. So he's Aragorn. So we know what Aragorn is going to do. And the virtuous person, precisely because his entire life he tried to be that way, he becomes that way. So this is what virtue is. We struggle to be a kind of person until we become the kind of person. There is a difference between predicating the good the good of one action or of the person. I can say that this action was courageous, and everybody perform can act as a courageous person at once. But when I say that this person is courageous, I actually predicate this quality of his person, not of one action. So this is what virtue means. It means becoming the measure of the right action. The action would be courageous because I'm the courageous person and I perform these kind of actions. So it's like my muscle, I have this muscle, I am courageous. So I can sometimes being hesitant, I run the risk of being coward sometimes, but I am courageous. It's not like by chance I happen to be courageous. So this is what virtue means. And so this is a big part of our anthropology because it means that we are on our way to become what we are supposed to be. Good people. Good people, the good person is a virtuous person. So we are not yet. And our culture doesn't get it. It's like a movie culture. For us, when we think of our moral life, we think of specific decisions, like I can change my life just making different choice tomorrow. It doesn't work this way. If I'm accustomed to a certain kind of behavior and I want to change it, it might take years and years and years, and I'm not sure I can make it if I'm not strong enough to be consistent to it. I have to become virtuous. So, and it takes really a lot of time. So being virtuous is our real goal in life, because it's not like one decision, one action. This week is about our entire life. Then we become an old age person. We are big, and we will be a kind of example, a living example of being good.
So how are caring Christian anthropologists trying to reconcile this concept of human person and of human being when the church is also thinking about acknowledging, say, evolution? And so evolution. So, yeah, so in that context, when you just, try to place human beings in the context of evolution, when do you start talking about the human person?
So this is a totally different question. Okay, it's about evolution. How we can reconcile evolution with our faith. Is this what you want to do?
Yeah, but I guess in this particular case about talking about the human person, so it's just not the body, it's not just the body,
right,
but also the soul, right? So if we are talking about an evolution, at some point we have to have that moment where the soul becomes part of the human being, and there are beings before us who got that soul.
Right.
And so this Christian anthropology
For
applies.
sure. What we can say for sure is that the soul, it cannot come from evolution. So the human soul should come from a creation like that. So how this happened in history exactly, we don't know, and it's not written in the Bible. So the Bible is not telling you when exactly God put this soul into one being. But if you ask me, I don't believe that evolution as a complete philosophical scheme works at all. I'm totally against the idea of, there's no doubt there is some kind of evolution. That's clearly evident, right? But if you take evolution to the next level, which kind of we have nothing at the beginning, and then everything is evolving to something else, and this happens like this, who knows how, by chance, evolution, it's a theory. It involves that, there is a kind of statistical probability of having this kind of new design, and it happens. I don't believe in this kind of evolution, and if I were God, don't take me on with this. I'm not talking about something that is written in the Catechism, and it's just my personal opinion. But if I were God, I wouldn't put the human soul into a monkey. It doesn't make any sense to me. The human body is unique too. It's kind of, it's more perfect than a monkey body. So I would definitely, since I can, I'm God. There is no point in denying that I can do whatever I want. So why should I create a perfect soul with a body which is not the perfect match for this soul? So I see more reasonable that God, at certain point, he kind of had maybe at a more undeveloped level the human being already with that body, and at that point he put the soul in his body, but not having a different being becoming a human being.